Welcome to Management Risk Lecture. First of all, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Kyung-Seok Choi, Managing Director of Pasto PM Company. Actually, I've taught project management for 18 years. More than anything else, I really wanted to evangelize management risk in Korea, if possible. Now, let me give you the content of my presentation. I will tell you the introduction of MOR, such as the basic definition of risk and the risk management, and the purpose of this guidance. And then I'm going to tell you the MOR principle, which can apply to every organization. I will tell you an MOR approach and MOR process. Finally, I will try to give you my conclusion. You can buy Management Risk Handbook at this website, and the personal certification for management of risk is accredited by Excelus company. We live in an ever-changing world. Thus, the management of risk is critical to an organization's success and even personal life. The purpose of MOR is to provide effective framework for risk management using lots of MOR technique. Here, we define risk as an uncertain event that will have an impact to the achievement of objective. Actually, risk is everywhere. We can see lots of people looking at smartphone while walking on the street. That's very risky. The definition of risk management is the systematic application of principle, an approach, and the process to the task to manage and control risk. As you know, it's not possible to manage and control or identify risk in actual project environment. So by using MOR framework, we can properly prioritize risk in order to deal with lots of uncertainty. We need to figure out that the MOR framework is based on 4 core concepts. A principle, a high-level and universal statement that provide guidance to organization. MOR approach is using management document to manage and control risk. MOR process is 4 primary steps to carry out risk management. It's very important for us how to integrate the risk management into the culture of organization using embedding and reviewing method. This figure shows how MOR framework works together. Let's take a look at each element of 4 core concepts one by one. I will tell you about management risk principle. Principles are universal because they apply to every organization. And principles are self-validating as they have been effectively proven in practice for a long time. Also, MOR principles are empowering because they can give risk practitioners more confidence and ability across the organization. A principle in MOR I derived from lessons learned that had both positive and negative results. I will briefly explain each of 8 principles. risk management should be aligned with the objective of organization, and in it to match the current context. We need to listen to stakeholders' requirements. All stakeholders need to understand the guidance of risk management to make the effective decision making. We need to establish transparent roles, responsibilities, accountability, and the escalation procedure. We need to use historical data to manage and control risk management procedure. The culture that recognizes uncertainty in the organization is necessary. The last principle is very meaningful. Everything within an organization has a cost, which can be a monetary value or a time value. Therefore, the risk management cost and corresponding benefit within an organization should be measured as a value. Let's look at management of risk approach. Well, MOR approach describes the way in which the principles are implemented. There are three types of important documents to MOR approach. Risk management policy shows how risk management will be implemented throughout an organization to support the realization of its objective. Risk management process guide how each process step will be carried out in the organization. And risk management strategy describes the specific risk management activities that will be undertaken for a particular organization activity. Let's look at management risk process. MOR process is 4 primary steps to carry out risk management. Here, identify, assess, plan, and implement. These steps are carried out in sequence, which means any one step cannot be undertaken until the preceding step has been completed. We need to understand how each process step is defined. Goals are the key outcomes of the process. For instance, the process goals for the identify step is to identify both the threats and the opportunities facing the activities. Input are the information that is transformed by the process. Output are information produced by the process, which will form the input to the subsequent process step. We can use recognized risk management technique described in MOR. I think that risk management technique described in management risk is practical to manage actual project and program. Task is detailed action. For example, stakeholders need to agree the identified risk. The goal of plan is to prepare a specific management response to the threats and the opportunities identified. It's not possible to completely remove risk. Thus, we need to have good strategies to mitigate risk, minimizing threat, and maximizing the opportunities can be one of major targets when we manage and control them. In plan step, one of the important outputs is to identify the individuals responsible for the response action and the overall ownership of each risk. Now, it's time to give my conclusion. When it comes to innovation and creativity, people usually think that the breakthrough is all about new and brilliant ideas. However, those ideas can be actually realized when an organization makes the best use of management of risk effectively and systematically. If you have any comments or question, please do not hesitate to ask regarding my lecture. You can refer to the following website to look at more content. Thank you very much.